Oh, there we go, and we're live. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have welcome to the Big Bad Caffenated Podcast. This is a little bit of a test, a little bit of a different one tonight, trying something new because I have got Streamlabs up and running. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be messing around. There was a couple of things I wanted to have a go at, and so that I'd like to, I thought now would be a good opportunity while it's late at night. And I know there's going to be people asking, Noah, when are you stop going to be doing tests? And that's probably when I get a few subscribers and people actually watching. So while we're on the subject, please leave a like and a subscribe as well. Would really mean a lot to us. Me and my friend Johan, we normally do the No Joe experience, and we have been trying to do that once a week, but it has been a bit of a break because life has gotten in the way. But we have not given up on that, and we will be back very soon to do the next to do our next podcast. So hopefully that'll be in the next week or so, and we will keep you all updated. So like I said, this is just going to be a bit of a quick podcast tonight. There's a few things that I just wanted to test up, see how this was going to work. Hopefully this will make things a bit smoother for us in the future going forward. I like this new overlay I've got here with all the writing and everything. It looks a little bit better, a bit more professional, I think, so I'm excited to see how that works out. If you like it, please leave a like or a comment. It would mean a really lot. Like I said, there's only a few things I think I was going to talk about today. I was really keen to talk about South Park. I should say, they've done a episode, the Pandaverse, all about how Disney is destroying, or has destroyed, some absolute classic franchises, the likes of Indiana Jones, Star Wars. Like, I actually just been thinking about the last few days. If you had told me, like if you could go back 10 years ago, I suppose, and you would tell me that Disney had a designated Star Wars channel with all these shows and all this content available all the time, and yet, despite all that, I would have lost interest in it, and I haven't even finished Ahsoka, I haven't finished so many of the seasons, and I really have lost it. There's something's gone wrong there, and yeah, I probably would have slapped you if you'd told me that. I would not have believed that I would lose interest in the latest and greatest Star Wars shows. But that, unfortunately, it's a sad reality I think for a lot of people at the moment. They're just, they're a little bit over a lot of those things, and it is sad. So yeah, I'm kind of pretty keen to sit down and actually watch South Park and see what they've done with it. I think that'd be really hilarious. The clips that I've seen from it have been legendary. So I'm looking forward. Maybe the next podcast I will have actually sat down and watched it by then, and so we can go through it. And I'm curious what other people think, whether they agree with me. What do you think? Do you have a bit of, I think they call it superhero fatigue, where people are just over all these superhero shows, Star Wars shows, just back to back, and they're not really getting into it. But I think a lot of it actually is just the shows are not that good. They're spending a whole lot of money, but they're not getting the quality there. And I think the storytelling is just lacking in a whole lot of it. Boba Fett was a huge disappointment. I was so excited for that show, and it fizzled out halfway through the season, I felt, which sucks because Timur Morrison, absolute legendary. I love that guy. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I have not unfortunately watched that yet, so I will be coming back to that in the next week or so. I think I'll catch up on that. Okay. There is something I thought that I would be fun to talk about today, and this is just something that was going around that I heard about. So there is, I love to hate on TikTok. It's, I know it's a great time waster, and and so I have a TikTok account. I don't really use it. I almost got kicked off by TikTok, and it was for the lamest things. I got reported for, excuse me. Nothing really exciting, actually. It was a guy got injured and it looked kind of worse than it actually was. And I kind of stopped using it, just got frustrated with it. But anyway, it is a great time waster, I'll admit that. And a lot of people say, hey, they blame TikTok for people, society, the downfall of society, I suppose, and people getting more and more stupid. I don't think that that's quite true. I don't think it's TikTok necessarily. I think there are stupid people exist, and now they have TikTok, and now we see the stupid people on TikTok, and that makes everything seem so much worse. So yeah, I don't necessarily agree that TikTok is the downfall of society. It just highlights the really dumb people in society. if that makes it all sense. But that being said, I saw this video going around, and I don't mean to be too hard on this young woman, because I'm the first to applaud. If you're making steps to make your life healthier, I think that's really great. That's brilliant, and people should do that. That being said, this absolutely frustrated me for the most stupid reasons. So I'm going to let me. I'll just try and jump to the video in question that I saw. Here we go. Let's see if this one works. Excuse me, by the way, guys. Okay, it is loading, so bear with me here a moment. We'll get everything working. The video coming up. Okay, so now I did have this woman's name, and I don't have it, so apologies for that. But here we go. Oh, let me try and run that.
Not me unintentionally starting a movement.
She's starting a movement.
It's called silent walking, and it's about to change your life.
Healthy, great.
So this all started when my nutritionist recommended that I start walking 30 minutes a day instead of doing like insane cardio.
Okay, so we start off, she's making some changes in her life. She apparently had been doing intense cardio, and now she's doing 30-minute walks a day as recommended by her nutritionist. Hey, I'm all for this. Absolutely, anybody who can get up out for half an hour walk a day, or any kind of exercise really. It's a great positive move. I'm all here for it. Let's continue. If it'll allow me, bear with us, guys. Okay, so apparently she was doing insane cardio.
Like I used to. Those workouts were making my body inflamed. That's a story for another time. And as I was about to go out on my first 30-minute walk, my sweet boyfriend challenged me to walk without distractions. No AirPods, no podcast, no music.
That seems like not a bad idea.
Me, myself, and I. And at first I was like, fuck no, my anxiety could never, which is probably what you're thinking. But something with...
Okay. I know people have anxiety. I'm not really hating on that, but the fact that she thinks that that's normal, that going out without your phone is going to trigger anxiety, and that everybody would go through have that same reaction. It's like, no, I don't really think that's a normal thing to do. I think most people, hey, by the way, I'm guilty as sin. Yeah, I spend far too much time on my phone, but I think if you're going out for a walk and the idea of spending 2 minutes without your phone starts to have you some kind of anxiety attack, yeah, there's probably something wrong there, and you're probably spending far, far too much time on your phone. Let's continue.
Within me was like, let me just try it. And look,
there we go. She's trying it.
Or mayhem. Your mind is racing. You're gonna have anxiety. Something happens after 2 minutes where your brain just gets into this flow state, and everything is quiet. And suddenly, you can fucking hear yourself. After 30 minutes of silent walking, I suddenly had the clarity that I had been always looking for. The brain fog lifted.
Oh, okay, look, I'm trying not to hate too much on this, because, yeah, it's a positive move, and she's getting out, and she's doing exercise. All of these are great things, but come on. For all of human history, up until probably the last 10 years ago, people have walked without AirPods, without podcasts, without all these things that this woman obviously is... She thinks now is groundbreaking, like she's discovered, something absolutely amazing, that she can go for a walk without her phone and noise in her ears. Like, oh my gosh, is this how far we've fallen in just this short amount of time? I think, maybe people are actually onto something if this is what we consider groundbreaking at the moment, and this woman is starting a movement that we can't walk for half an hour without our phones in our pockets and listening to something. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe people are onto something when they say that TikTok is ruining society, I think. Because, like, we should be able to do it. We should be able to put the phone down and go for a walk for half an hour and not be such a big deal. This is... I don't know why. I should be happy. I know I kind of am that people are out and making exercise and doing healthy choices, but at the same time, it's like, oh my gosh, it's not that big a deal. Just go for a walk. Anyway, I don't know. What do you think? Do you disagree with me? I'm probably overreacting here. I don't know. Some things just get you more fired up than the other things. And this one here, it's like, it's just going for a walk. Stop. Just go and do it. Anyway, but hey, I think she possibly makes a good point. To be fair, if going for a walk and you're worried about spending 2 minutes without your phone, it's probably a really good sign that you really, really need to get out, get some fresh air, and put the phone down for a little bit. So hey, on that note, absolutely go for it, and yeah, I encourage more people to do that. So there we go. Not all negatives there. Not all negatives there. Okay, the other one that I really wanted to quickly touch base on. So I don't actually have the video for this, but there was about a week ago, there was a video going around. So a woman was going on a date with a guy, first date, and the guy takes her to the Cheesecake Factory, which we don't really have. I think there might be a couple here in New Zealand, but I've never really been to one. I don't know where they are. But the woman, apparently, the Cheesecake Factory was not up to her standard, and so she refused to get out of the car. And there was that sparked a huge debate over, whether the woman was in the right or wrong, whether she, because apparently, according to her, she thought that Cheesecake Factory was a unacceptable date for a first date, that he should have done a lot better, taken her to a bit nicer restaurant, I suppose. And so she refused to get out of the car. I can kind of understand to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's like, it's the first date, like, for me, yeah, that's a first red flag. If you're not gonna just enjoy yourself and have a good time at a Cheesecake Factory, it's probably not going to work out. And I don't think that's probably the case for a lot of guys, to be fair. So on that note, maybe she just cut herself out and got out of the red flags right out. Yeah, this one's not going to work. I think we should part ways right here. So on that note, maybe not such a bad idea at all. That being said, after that, there was this list that came around, and so I don't know the woman's name because it's blacked out here. Here's the list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date, and thank you to the ladies who reached out to me to help me on this list. Okay, so on this list we have Cheesecake Factory. Okay, clearly that was a big one for some people. Applebee's, I don't know what that. Chili's, I've heard Chili's is great. What's going on? Chipotle? Really? That's like brilliant food. Olive Garden. Okay, I haven't been to Olive Garden, heard mixed reviews. Maybe it's a bit average, so okay, I can understand. But yeah, I don't know. Like, IHOP, what's wrong with pancakes? Come on. Like, oh my gosh. And Starbucks and coffee dates. Come on, if you just want a casual, I don't understand what's wrong with this. Okay, sure, if you want to have standards and your standards are here, like first date, sure, communicate them clear, that's up to you, but almost none of these, like, okay, there's church in there. I'm not hating on people going to church at all, like, that's a great thing, but fair enough, it's a little bit of a strange first date, I'll give you that one, so I can understand that, that might be weird for people. No, your house, okay, yep. First date, if you don't know some guy going to the house, yeah, I can understand that one. It would be a big no. But yeah, a lot of these are really weird. And I think a lot of guys are going to be really confused looking at this list. If you're a guy like me, I'm going to be like, what's wrong with, like, probably like 60, 70%. These seem perfectly acceptable to a guy. So I think if you're going to make this list, you might want to, kind of communicate what your ideal first date would be, because I think, yeah, if you leave it up to a guy, it's probably, I would almost guarantee that 90% of guys are going to pick something on this list. So if this list is a no, probably highlighted to guys, because we are going to have no clue here. We're going to think we're like, yeah, this is a cool casual first date. Nothing too serious. We're just getting to know each other. And apparently for a lot of women, this is a big no-no. So yeah, hey, maybe this is just another sign that us men are clueless, which, hey, also a fair argument there. Yeah, anyway, look, like I said, guys, this was just a quick one. So I'm going to cut that short for tonight, but thank you very much to anybody who's sticking around to watch this. Please leave a like and a share if you can. Subscribe, it would really mean a lot to us. Hopefully, like I said, we'll be back with another episode of the Nojo Experience in the next weeks or so. So until then, catch you later, guys.